Hi, welcome to Azure Lab Services in Education demonstration. My name is Lalit Mohan and I am an Azure specialist. Azure Lab Services is a SaaS offering. Its use cases could be single event, short-term period like semester or terms, or even medium or long terms like a full year as teaching and learning desktop. Azure Lab Services empowers staffs to quickly provision Windows and Linux virtual machines, Azure PaaS services, or complex environment in their labs through reusable custom templates. The lab safely contains resources within the custom configuration and policies. All the underlying infrastructure is managed by Azure. Once users start utilizing the resources in the lab, you can analyze cost and usage across multiple labs and set overarching policies to optimize your organization or team's cost. Azure Lab Services empowers students anywhere, anytime access from any device to their lab sessions using RDP or SSH. So let's take a closer look. As customer, you will create an Azure Lab Services account and shared image galleries in their respective resource group. In your own subscription, the quota and the limits will apply and can be increased through a service request to the Microsoft representative. The resources needed for it are handled for you by the Microsoft Managed Azure subscription. This is the VM, load balancer, virtual networks, network security groups, etc. The cost is charged back to your subscription. This subscription is monitored for suspicious activities to keep it secure. Each lab is isolated in its own virtual network. Students are granted access to their lab machines upon registration, either restricted or unrestricted for events like hackathons through load balancer using remote desktop or SSH based protocols, depending on the OS, through random port range. IT administrators' function is to create lab accounts, shared image galleries, and they assign owner or lab creator role to individual teachers and faculty. Multiple lab creators can be assigned in the same lab account, and multiple owners can be assigned to the same lab as teaching assistants or co-teachers. Additionally, IT administrators set up the lab settings like disconnecting VM upon no activity, shutdown time delay upon disconnect, or no one logs into the lab VM time delay. IT admin also does the cost analysis for the previous month. They can set up the budget and its related alerts for informing the respective personnel or initiate an automated response. In our demo setup, two lab owner creators support the same lab data science and one supports the database management lab alone. Any such combination can be arranged. The responsibility is to create lab using VMs of appropriate size and image. The image can be built from scratch or taken from marketplace and modified for various type of topics that are being taught. It can then be deposited in a shared image gallery for shared use. Lab owners also estimate the cost of the lab to keep within the budget allocated. This is not actual but estimated cost. It considers the scheduled cost, quotas for self-work only. It does not include template or image preparation time and shared image gallery cost, which must be added appropriately. They can also add users in bulk to email invitation. If Azure Lab Services is used in conjunction with Microsoft Teams, users that are part of the team or the learning group will automatically be invited to register and be assigned a VM in the lab. This is very powerful. Following the launch of labs, lab owners and creators can manage and track the user to meet the learning objectives. Learners can from anywhere and anytime and any device log in either directly to Azure Lab Services web interface or through Teams to access their lab machines to the RDP or SSH protocol. The advantage of being in Teams is you can then share and collaborate using Microsoft Teams collaborative features like chat, video calls, Meet Now capabilities, etc. So let's move to the demo. Before we begin, please take note all the names identities in this demonstration are fictitious only for the purpose of this demonstration. Let's begin with the experience that the Azure administrator gets in setting up the Azure Lab Services. We are at the Azure Administrator screen in Azure portal, and here is the Lab Services on. Pressing that, I go into Lab Services screen, and here I already have 3 labs created. I can create a new lab by simply pressing the Add button, entering the name of the lab, my subscription, the resource group, location, and also if I want location to be changed, which will have an impact on what type of machines will be allowed in creating the VM. So I already have one lab. Let's step into it. I can create labs from here by clicking on this button, and that will take me to this interface, the web interface, to create the labs and do the various management activities. We will do these similar activities through the MS Teams interface later. Currently in this lab account, that is Student Lab 1, I have 2 labs as listed here: Health Research Data Science 1 and Health Research Database Management 1. Before we step and look in a little bit more detail, let us take a look at some of the policy items. One of them is the marketplace images. So the organization doesn't have to start from scratch. They can actually pick various images here to be the base for their VMs, for their students in the lab. There are a lot of images. Some are enabled, some are disabled or not enabled, and typically the ones which are single VM with no in-image purchase are the ones which are enabled. There are some interesting options like one here, Data Science Virtual Machine. Once images are created and considered as be used as templates, can be put into the galleries. And these galleries becomes shared images for different lab creators and owners across different regions. The second component is important, that is identity and access management of who owns can create labs. Within this example, student lab 1, we have created 2 lab creators, Ara and Megan. You can add more people to this role by simply going here. Take a look at different roles that are available: owner, contributor, reader, lab creator, and so on. You can pick the type of access this to be assigned to. In our case, simply user. Here you can search the Active Directory of this tenant for the name. Once it is selected, you can go ahead and either save or remove. In this case, Kara is already there. It's allowing me to remove it. Now, this function allows the Azure administrator to set any combination of multiple teachers, co-teachers, teaching assistants, same or different labs. Let's go back to the all labs and step into the data science lab. Let's take a look at IAM and currently assigned roles. Notice there are 2 faculty assigned as owners and lab creators. This is to help in dividing the workload large classes. Let us now move to another important function of the Azure administrator, that is cost analysis, actual cost of previous months and the future projections. Graph here clearly shows the current actual cost eminently, also shows the forecast, and this Azure administrator actually put a limit, budget limit, against which there are alerts set up lab expense 1, so that this limit is hit. Appropriate administrative staff will be informed for action, or in an automated script can be fired up to take the remedial action. As you can see, currently the projection is well below the budget limit that has been set. There are various options here, and you can look at the cost from perspective of, let's say, current month or current billing period. So let's choose this month. This month it has just started. I can switch to previous month. Headline shows the budget. We have been well below budget. So you can see the split of the cost by service name, location, and resources. Group actually. You can set the scope of cost that you are looking at. So in this example, there is only one resource group. If you have multiple lab accounts, and the decision to have multiple lab accounts will be based upon cost reporting and the policies. Select that particular scope to see and report the cost differently. Could be belonging to different faculty, courses, modules, and so on. Here I'm looking at ALS one in October. Let's switch to November. I could set budget from here. So name of the budget alert, which I'm setting, creation date, I can set expiration date, I can put an amount. So let's say I'm looking at 125 BA1. I can say alert me when it reaches 50%. And then I have to select an action group. An action group is the set of actions that will be notified or activated in case this level is reached. Once I have done, I can create this particular alert. Let's go back to the cost management screen and filter the cost that you're seeing by accumulated cost or by cost of resources. Once you do that, you will see the cost of individual components within the labs. This is actually the cost of a single machine. This is the cost of a shared gallery, and the various regions are located. Let's add a filter by resource. So there are two resource types: Microsoft Compute, the galleries cost, the gallery images, and the lab accounts. Let's look at the gallery cost. Apply this filter. The cost of images. You notice it starts from a very high number, $7. This is an image that was kept in APAC South, and it would be used by students in another regions heavily, causing the egress network traffic to be costed. So while planning the classes and the images, it is important to take note, try and keep the images in the same region as the learners. Let's switch this to lab accounts. Here is the cost other than the shared images. These are basically the various virtual machines, and the default here is the cost of the lab itself. Other components like load balancer, VNet, network security groups that are also the part of paraphernalia. These line items can actually be exported on schedule into a spreadsheet and can be used for downstream reporting about the actual usage and cost for using the Azure Lab services. Now let's change our hat to become the educators, the lab owners and the creators, and see how that experience is with the Azure Lab services. I'm Kara Coleman, one of the owners and lab creators. This is my Microsoft Teams screen, and you notice Azure Lab Services is one of the tabs. It can be easily added by selecting an app, and as long as the Azure administrator has already set up a lab account in the same tenant, I will automatically see those lab counts show up here. By selecting them and saving them, I will have access to all the labs inside that lab account. I can also create my own new labs by simply giving the name, selecting the template that I would like to use. I could also go to the image gallery to pick it up, pick whatever size of VM that I want to use, including the larger GPU-based VMs for visualization and compute wherever they're available in the region. The cost is provided. I can go ahead and give the name and the password, select the various policy defaults. That is, to disconnect the VM if it is idle, shut down the VM if nobody is disconnected for given amount of time, 5 minutes here, and shut down the VMs if nobody connects. These settings save cost. Give it a notice that Azure Administrator can set up these policies at the lab account level to enforce to all the labs, or they can be changed at the lab level. Once this is done, I can just hit finish to create the labs. So right now I'm not going to do that because for the demonstration purpose, I already have a lab created. This is the dashboard for my Health Research Data Science 1 lab. See the card here? It shows and helps me to estimate the cost. And again, this is just a forecast and not for actual cost. It is based upon amount of hours I give to each student for self-study using the VM, amount of time which is on the calendar schedule. Both are added and then multiplied by the number of users, which is then multiplied by the rate of the VM per hour. This is only an estimate as it does not include the amount of time used for preparing the template for the class or any manual starts that is done by the administrators. And lastly, the cost of shared image gallery. Once I create the class, I can then modify that template by starting it, connecting to it, making all the changes in terms of configurations, software installs, etc. And then publishing it. You can even save it to the shared gallery, which you saw, the Azure administration portion of this demo, so that the other lab creators can use it as well. The power of using Azure Lab Services with MS Team is VM is already created for each member of the MS Teams team, who are listed here. It also keeps track of the quota hours, individual study hours that each user is using. It allows the creator to create a schedule on which start, date, time, stop, time zones, and if the class have to be repeated. They can also put friendly notes to remind them what purpose this schedule is for. And last but not least, they can also change the policies, keep a handle and optimize the cost of the class. Once all this is done, RDP information can be received from here, used as a string access VM for going through the lab. As we are in teams, I can also collaborate with my students and co-teacher for the purpose of administering lab to the students. On the right is my screen in MS Teams. And on the left is my colleague, co-teacher, Megan Bowen, who is also administering some of these classes. I can communicate with her using the Teams productivity tools. I can even have a conversation. So Megan is calling me now, and I'm going to accept the call, communicating with each other. This could also be a video call to make a conversation more real face to face virtually. Let me drop out of this call, and you can see the interface of each one of us when we are in Azure Labs. My screen on the right shows that I am teaching a class, Search Data Science 1, whereas my colleague Megan is teaching two classes, her own class, that is Health Research Database Management 1, and she's assisting me in the Health Research Data Science 1. Let's finally put on the hat of student and learner and see how their experience is in consuming the labs that have been created on the virtual machines using Azure Lab Services. Hi, I'm Alan, a student who's using his iPad device to access the Azure Lab Services lessons. I'm going to use the remote desktop client to access my various labs, and I have two at the moment, data science and database management. I can add more as may be required based on the courses that I'm taking. So let's go to the data science course. Now, this is a VM that has been built using the data science image, and most of the applications, typical applications that are used in data science are there. I have Storage Explorer that is connected to my identity and the various source of different type of data. Example, blob containers, file shares, structured, non-structured, log files that are there in my storage account. It could be pictures, any other different type of data that I may need for my learning. Then there is Azure Machine Learning Studio. Here, I can use all the data that I've collected to build machine learning models, test them, and then even deploy them. There's a lot of material available here, including data sets that I may have loaded from my storage account or sample data sets. I can use Power BI application to read the data inside the tables, various relationship between different tables, create a model, a data model on top of the data that I have fed inside this application. Then graphically presented topic of research. Such rich graphics can be created. Example here, infantile mortality against the life expectancy over a period of about 20 years shown by country. You can see that how as humans we have made progress in reducing the child mortality and improving the life expectancy. There are also open source tools like RStudio. You can use the interesting lessons or programs that have been provided by my teachers for my learning. So let's go ahead and do that. Come here into the console, paste this and launch it. As you see, it gets launched. The plot has been created in the plots window of the RStudios. Additionally, there are programs like Jupyter, which are again open source, that can be used for cooperation and collaboration for projects, technology exchange, and even codes to work out data science projects in the teams or the learning groups. So here you saw one example of a data science image and lab that was created. I would invite you to come to Microsoft Docs where you can actually see the different samples of the class types that can be set up. Big data analytics, database management, deep learning in natural languages, MATLAB, Python, shell scripting, SolidWorks, and so on. These are not exhaustive lists, but just some other samples. So for example, if you jump to ethical hacking, it shows here how ethical lab can be set up, a brief description. And by clicking here, you can go to the more detailed steps of how the lab configuration can be done, templates can be created, and nested VMs can be created to enable a ethical hacking course with ethical hacking exercises to be conducted using Azure Lab Services. I would like to thank you for your time today. I hope this was useful. Here are some useful links and references which you can start right away using Azure Lab Services. Thank you.